Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to my channel Agri Education and Banking. In this video, I am going to explain about types of cultivation in agriculture. Okay, how many types of cultivation in agriculture we follow in India? Today I am going to explain. Okay, yes, in previous class I have discussed about agriculture in India. If you want to see that video, please go and visit my channel. Okay. Today's topic is types of cultivation. Okay. First one is subsistence agriculture. Okay. Yeah. I'll explain what is the meaning of subsistence agriculture. Okay. Yeah. This is the most ancient farming practice. Yeah. The definition is production of crops or livestock for the farmer and their family. Okay. Production of crops. Okay. Not only the production of crops, livestock also for the farmer and their family. Okay, for farmer itself, okay, they will produce crops or livestock for their own purpose. Okay, not for the profit. For the farmer and their family, that is self consumption or family consumption. Production of crops or livestock only for self consumption or family consumption. Okay, without selling any surplus in the market. Okay, that means without getting any profit by selling that product. Okay, this is the meaning of subsistence agriculture. Okay, second one is commercial farming. Okay, commercial farming means it's opposite to subsistence farming. Okay, in subsistence farming, the farmer produce the crops or livestock for their own purpose, right? In commercial farming, crops are grown and animals are raised to get a profit. Okay, the farmer produce crops and rear animals for profit. This is the large scale manufacturing with advanced technology. The farmer produce crops and rear animals for profit, isn't it? To get the profit, we have to go with advanced technology. So, in commercial farming, the farmer produce crops with the use of advanced technology. Okay. The third one is mixed farming. Okay. Mixed farming is the advanced agricultural model. Okay. This is the type of farming which involves growing of crops and raising livestock. Which involves growing of crops and also raising livestock. For example, cereal crops and cattle, sheep, pigs or poultry. Not only the crops and also the livestock. Okay. Crop production and livestock are combined on the same farm where one part supports another. What it means? Crop production and livestock, production of crops and livestock are combined on the same farm. Okay. The farmer produce crops and livestock in the same farm where one part supports another. Okay. Livestock waste can be used as a fertilizer and crop residues for livestock feed. Okay. The waste that produced by the livestock can be used as a fertilizer for the crop. Okay. And crop residues for livestock feed means crop residues after harvest. Those crop residues will be used as a feed for livestock. Okay. This is the mutual benefit for the crops as well as the livestock, isn't it? And the another farming is organic farming. Organic farming is a natural way of growing crops that does not involve chemical fertilizers. Okay. Organic farming means natural way. Natural way means without using any pesticides or chemical fertilizers, we can go cropping. This is the organic farming. A natural way of growing crops that does not involve chemical fertilizer. Okay. It enhances soil quality. Usage of excessive chemical fertilizers or pesticides, eventually the soil fertility will decreases, isn't it? By adopting organic farming, we can enhance soil quality. It involves techniques such as crop rotation, composting, benefit of insects. Okay. Nowadays, This farming method gaining massive attraction, without uses of chemical fertilizers, we are getting crops. So this farming method gaining massive attraction, offering a viable, ethical and sustainable agriculture. This is about organic farming. Okay. Another farming is plantation farming, a commercial farming method that involves cultivation of crops on large areas of land for maximum productivity and profit. Okay, it solely depends on maximum productivity and profit. Okay, it's the plantation farming. Okay, the method of farming that consists of different steps or terraces that built into the side of a mountain or hill. Okay, this farming built into the side of a mountain or hill. Okay, the method of farming that consists of different steps. Yeah, the farmers grow the crops in different steps or terraces. That's why the name called terrace farming, that built into the side of a mountain or hill. This terrace farming practice on mountain or hilly areas, isn't it? On each level, various crops are planted, right? Steps means one by one, isn't it? So, on each level, various crops are planted in terrace farming. Okay. When it rains, instead of washing away all of the nutrients in the soil, are carried down to the next level. What is the benefit of this terrace farming means? When it rains, washing out of our nutrients and soil will definitely occur. The benefit in the terrace farming is, when it rains, instead of washing away all the nutrients in the soil, are carried down to the next level. In terrace farming, we go the cropping level to level, isn't it? So, when rains, the nutrients will not wash away. Why? Because means there is the another crop in the another level. The nutrients will carry one level to the another level. Okay. These steps prevent washing away soil. That is, prevents soil erosion. Okay. It also prevents washing away soil. Washing away soil means soil erosion. It prevents soil erosion, isn't it? This is the effective method that uses all the limited land available, but it is a labor intensive cultivation process. Okay, it is the very effective method that uses all the limited available land. Okay, but it is a labor intensive cultivation to form these terraces and to maintain that levels. So much of effort we have to put to maintain this type of farming system. That is why it's a labor intensive cultivation process. Okay. Another farming is intensive farming. Okay. With the problem of rising population and shrinking land area, intensive farming has come to be a significant cultivation system in India. Nowadays, rising of population and shrinking land area is the bigger problem in India, isn't it? We have to compensate both these problems. So, we have to go with the intensive farming. What it means? It uses a lot of resources, labor and capital to produce more food and animals per unit of land. With lot of effort, lot of resources, labor and capital to produce more food and animal per unit of land. This is the main aim of intensive farming, and this is also the definition of intensive farming. That is, we have to produce more food and animals per unit of land to compensate the problem of rising population and shrinking land area. It also known as intensive agriculture or conventional agriculture or industrial agriculture. Okay. Risk of pollution due to higher usage of inputs like chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Yeah, to get the more food and animal per unit of land, we have to go with higher inputs like chemical fertilizers and pesticides. With the uses of high chemical fertilizers and pesticides, the risk of pollution is definitely there, isn't it? This is the disadvantage of this intensive farming. Okay. Another farming is dryland farming. Yes, cultivation of crops without a water system, that is completely relying on natural resources like rainfall. Okay, cultivation of crops without a water system. Okay, Water system means artificial irrigation. Artificial irrigations like drip or sprinklers. We cannot use drip or sprinklers and another artificial irrigation systems in dryland farming. Cultivation of crops without a water system, that is relying on natural resources like rainfall. Okay, mostly adapted in arid and semi-arid regions of India. This method depends only on the stored moisture in the soil. Whenever the rain falls, the amount of water stored in the soil, so the crop is totally depends on that moisture or minimum irrigation, or else the farmers will provide minimum irrigation to that particular crop. Okay, so crops like millets, pulses and oilseeds fits for this method of farming. Okay, millets needs lesser amount of water when compared to the other crops. Pulses and oilseeds also fit for this method of farming. Okay, we can go for techniques like mulching, rainwater harvesting and drought resistant crop. Okay, what is the solution for this type of farming means we can go techniques like mulching. Mulching means preservation of moisture in the soil by providing some covering on the top of the soil. We can use the covering materials like straw or else some artificial mulching, etc. Okay, we can go for this type of techniques for this type of cropping pattern. Okay, rainwater harvesting means by digging the farm ponds in the field. Okay, we can dig farm ponds in the field. Whenever the rain comes, the water collect in those ponds and we can use that water for the critical stages of the crop, isn't it? That is the rainwater harvesting. And drought resistant crops, we can select the crops that are very resistant to the dry conditions. We can select those type of crops for this type of farming. Okay, the another farming is wetland farming. Farming well practiced where there is no problem of water. Okay, it is quite opposite to dryland farming. Here the water abundance is very much and the farming well practiced where there is no problem of water at all. Okay, this farming enable the farmers to crop their fields in underwater or flooded conditions. For example, it's rice. Okay, we should provide adequate drainage definitely for this type of farming. Okay, what is the problem here means, in flood conditions the drainage problem is more, isn't it? We have to provide adequate drainage definitely. The another farming is integrated farming. Okay, merging of multiple elements into one single system like crops, livestock rearing, fish ponds, poultry, biogas production, etc. Merging of multiple elements, not only for a single element, that is the production of crops or the production of livestock. Okay, we have to merge more than one element. Okay, for example, crops, livestock rearing, fish ponds, poultry, biogas production, etc. Okay, this is called integrated farming. This is the process of sustainability. The end waste of one component starts functioning as an input for another. This is the concept of end waste of one component. For example, the harvestation completed for the particular crop, then the remaining stubbles on the land, we can use those stubbles for the feed purpose of animals. Improves resource usage and minimize waste. Okay, it builds symbiotic relationships among various agricultural components. Okay, symbiotic relationship means benefiting one another. Okay, symbiotic relationships among various agriculture components. Yes, minimum dependence on external inputs. Yeah, we can use the animals waste as a fertilizer and stubbles as a feed, etc. Yeah, minimum dependence on the external inputs. Shifting cultivation. Okay, this is the traditional system of cultivation. What is the definition means? Crops are cultivated in patch of land for few seasons. Okay, For few seasons, crops are cultivated in a patch of land and then move to another fertile land when soil fertility drops. By repeated uses of that particular patch of the land, the soil fertility will definitely declines, isn't it? After we can move to another fertile land, when soil fertility drops. These are the types of cultivation. Okay. In previous classes, I have discussed about some of the reasoning topics which are very useful for the banking. If you want to see those videos, please go and visit my channel. And also, I have discussed some topics related to agriculture. If you like the video, please do like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.